not the screen I want. Stop sharing. Okay. Sorry, this is taking time. Okay. So today we'll be working ourselves through basic Linux commands to get good at Git. We call it G3. We say get good at Git. Like okay, basically we know the rudiment, like the basic um things that we need to know very well. If you are intending good, if you are trying to good in what's it called, Git and GitHub, the basic thing that we need, like the basic minimum that we need is the knowledge of Linux commands. Okay, so the Linux commands are many. From our last class, okay, from the system one that we did, I tried to explain the origin of Linux, how they come up with it, the guy that brought it up, and how is it going in the Linux ecosystem. But then today we are not going through the history. We just try our best to look into how can we leverage on this uh, platform given to us by Linux. Okay, we all know some people will claim okay Linux is an operating system, but it's not true. We have thousands of people that say okay Linux is just a kernel that provides access for us to create our own operating system. That's why we have different kind of operating systems built on Linux. We have CentOS, which is CentOS. We have B2. We have thousands of them, Fedora, and all of that. Okay, so what we are trying to get out of this is okay, we are this particular platform, unlike Windows and Mac OS, we have the special services of special let me just call it service because that's the right word to use. We have special services that helps us to get something done, like some work done easily, and we can do that through Linux command. For instance, people that interact with server, if you are backend engineer, okay, if you deploy your server, you do not have access to physical interface. Like, okay, I want to open a file, you now click on the file to open it. What you do is, okay, you try to pass in some commands to help you open a particular file that you want to open. Okay, this may sound abstract, like what's the meaning of all this? You see what I'm talking about, maybe. So that's what we want to look at today. You see the basic Linux command that we need and how it relates to Git so that we'll be able to get good at Git as planned for every one of us. Okay, so that's the topic that we'll be going to. Okay, and I'll be the one taking us through. I think these are not profile and I don't have time to change it. Okay, so we pray it keep growing, but then no time to update the profile. So I'm rushing it for every one of us. I think we all know me before, so I don't need that. Um, why is this there? Okay, so Linux commands that we'll be looking at. The first one is cd command. Okay, we call it change directory. Okay, the cd command is basically for changing from a particular directory. When we say directory, we are talking about folder. Okay, for me to navigate from a folder to another folder, I need to use this particular command. And the style I want to be using for us to explain this is okay. I will explain one out of this, and I will try to demonstrate with that because we go. Okay, let if you are taking notes, just take notes. Okay, that okay. When we say CD, we will not talk about the aliases and other options that we have to add with CD. But then you know that anytime we see this CD in a command line interface, most especially when we are on a Linux operating system, we are using it to change from a particular directory to another. Some people will be like, yeah, I know this before. Some be like, you really, but basically the point is just hold on to it. Like, okay, to change from one particular directory to the other, that's when we use CD, which is change directory. Okay, so we have other options that we can add to it. When we get to the demo, like when we get to the practical aspect, we will see how it relates to Git and GitHub, how it's important for us to know this particular command. Okay, so for every command that we are seeing on the screen, it is recommended that we use lowercase, like lowercase or two. We are seeing this CD, it should be in lowercase. Okay, it's my phone that changed it to that particular uppercase. So every command we are expected to use them in lowercase. Okay, and we have other options like dot, we have dash, we have one word character which is I don't know how it's being called, and other options that we can add to CD. Okay, if you cannot hear me, please try to call me back, or if anything is not clear. I think it's not this is not technical anyhow now. This is just like theory part of what we have to do. Okay, so second command that we want to look into is ls command. Ls command is basically the full meaning of ls is list. As we know that the full meaning of cd is change directory. Full meaning of cd is change directory, and for this particular ls, the full meaning of it is list. Like okay, we are giving a command that okay, list what is inside you. Like give us the list of everything that's inside you. Okay, that's what we call list. That's what ls does. So if you say okay, the ls command is used to view the content of a directory. If I'm in a particular directory, we know directory is folder. If I'm in a particular folder and I type in ls, what it will do is that okay, it will list every content that is in that directory. Okay, let's say we have a directory, a folder that has two what's it called? Two content, like okay, it has two files. Okay, if I type ls, it will now list the two files, the name of the two files inside that particular file or particular folder rather. Okay, so we use R, which is recursive, to list or every element. Let's say we have a subfolder. I'm in a particular folder. I still have another folder inside that folder. So I can use ls, that R, which is recursive, that okay, list every element in every folder that's inside this particular folder. Like we are talking about a top level, like a 3 level or 4 level or 5 level, depending on the number of levels that particular what's it called, that particular directory or folder has. This is very important for us to know when we start learning Git and GitHub. Why? Because we have a particular command in Git, which is git add. We use that particular command to add our local repository. To just changes we make on our local repository to stage it to be able to be trackable by our what's it called, our remote repository. Okay, so how does this relate to ls? Okay, sometimes if you're in a particular folder and you run this particular command, it will only work on the content that is in that particular folder alone. If you have to maybe you have a recursive folder like a top level folder inside folder, it will not be able to add them. We'll see in a minute when we get there. And we have dash a, we have dash al. Dash a is to just to give everything inside that file, everything inside that folder rather. And same thing as ls. When we get there, al will do will still give us okay, on this particular folder, on this particular file inside this folder, these are the actions you can perform. You can open it, you can write to it, you can read it, and every other read and write operation that can be done on the particular file. We will see it in a bit. Okay, it's fully abstract now. Okay, the last command on this screen is make directory. So mkdir is make directory, and basically what it does is, it's used to make a folder. Like okay, you want to create a particular folder. Okay, so it's like you are right clicking on your system and you are clicking on create folder and you name it, you give it a name. Okay, so this is what the command to do that in what's it called in Linux is make directory mkdir. So it's used to make directory. If you type make directory music, if you create directory called music, that's I think that's straightforward enough. Okay, the last three commands that we'll look at is the touch, the sudo, and the give. Okay, so I just extracted these commands because they are very important for us as we move ahead in our journey learning this particular um, Git and GitHub. Okay, so touch is for creating file. We said that, okay, make directory is for creating folder or creating directory. Okay, but now what if I want to create a file? Okay, I want to create maybe Rashid dot Python or dot py or Rashid dot JS or Rashid dot C plus plus, CPP, all those languages that people use to write, or even if you are working in an automation company, like okay, what you do is you just write YAML file for them. Okay, you want to write Rashid dot YAML. Okay, so if you want to create that particular folder, file, I'm not pushing file and folder for each other. If you want to create that particular file, you just use search command, then you put the name of the file you want to create with the extension you want to give to it. Okay, so that's what touch does. Um, we have sudo, which is super user do. It is used to give admin privilege. Let's just do it that way, or root privileges. You know, the way system are designed or computer are designed, we have different level of operation for different level of users. Okay, an admin is different from ordinary user. Okay, if you're an admin of a particular page, your what you can do is more than what ordinary person can do. Okay, for people that work in cyber cafe, admin can change password of people that come to use their services in that cyber cafe. But then the user can never try to can should not be able to change the password. Okay, let me put it that way. So we now have a kind of segregation between them. Okay, this is an admin user, this is just ordinary user. Okay, so if you want to get an access, you want to get an admin privilege. Let me put it that way for us, or root privilege. Okay, in Linux, the Linux command you can use to do that is sudo. Let's say you want to install a particular software or a particular package, and it's telling you that okay, you cannot install this particular thing because you don't have admin privilege or you don't have root privilege. To do that, you just have to include the sudo command, and what it will come after that is to ask you for the password for the roots or the password for the admin dashboard so that you'll be able to perform anything admin can perform. But if you're unable to provide the password, definitely it should be a scammer that want to scam the system, and you'll not be able to do that. Okay, that's what sudo do. There are many arguments on sudo that we are not interested in for now. We are not at all interested in it. There are some people that say, okay, sudo is not super admin do or super user do or something. But that's not none of our business right now. Okay. But what we need to get out of this is okay to get admin privilege or you want to get root privilege or root permission, you use sudo, then the command you want to run, any other command that you want to run. Okay, last command that is important to us as a learner, trying to learn Git and GitHub is diff. So diff is short for difference. Okay, and the difference is okay. Maybe I have two files. Okay, I have files A and files B, and there are some lines in that file that are the same. Okay, I will show us an example that will make it very clear to us. There are some files in that particular in the two files. There are some lines in those two files that are the same, and there are differences between them. Okay, now, so this will make sense to us when we try to look into Git and GitHub in case of branches. Okay, we have a master branch, for instance. In that master branch, you clone a master branch from GitHub. We may not know the meaning of that for some of us just getting started. You clone a particular repository from a you clone a master branch from a particular GitHub repository. Okay, master branch. Then after you clone it, you downloaded it to your system. Cloning means just download it to your system. After that, you now you make changes, a lot of changes. You add files, you add your own code base. If you are just writing tests, you add your tests, you add documentation. Now you now see that okay, the files that you are having will be similar with the file you cloned before, but the difference is that okay, you've added some things to your own that is not in the original one. Okay, so now to now compare the two, the one you are having and the one on the one you cloned that has certain things before you add your own. Okay, to compare the two, Git and GitHub behind the scene use the knowledge of Git. If you use the knowledge of Git to compare, okay, Ramatalai create a branch and they call it Ramatalai, okay, and another person Latifat has a branch, call it Latifat. and another person, Mohammed, has a branch Mohammed. Okay, now to now compare these three branches that we have. Okay, we now use this to compare that. Okay, in this Mohammed's own, okay, it's the same with Ramutala's branch. Okay, it's the same with what they call Latifa's branch. Then to keep merging them together. Okay, this one is not the same with this. Then we put line by line to combine everything for us. So at the end of the day, our code base or all the code that we write will be matched together, and we have a single code base that will do whatever we want to do. Okay, from the video we watched last class, we see that okay, somebody that wants to build a track for try to somebody was working on the engine, somebody was working on what's it called on the part of the engine, like the skeletal part of the engine, and at the end of the day, when they match their PR, everything works together. They compare the differences and they put them into one particular repository, and boom, after the merging, everything works together. So, in summary, these six commands, they are very important to us. The first one is what's called, we talk about the touch, for instance, to create a file. We talk about sudo to change admin privileges. Okay, we want to get administrative permissions. Okay, for a particular system. Okay, so you use sudo, and we have the diff to compare two particular files together. Are they the same? What's their difference? So we'll be able to match them together at the end of the day. We talk about change directory to move from one particular folder to the other and one particular directory to the other. We talk about ls to list the content of a particular folder, and we talk about make directory, which is mkdir have to create folder or directory. So all these sets of commands, they are very important for us to learn as we learn our Git and GitHub, as we proceed in our Git and GitHub journey. Okay, so the next thing for us is to demonstrate practically and see how these things work together. Okay. Um, if there's no question, if you have any question, you can just drop them in the chat so that we can move on from there. But then I'll be sharing my desktop right now, and we demonstrate all the things we've mentioned, and we try to relate it to what's it called? We try to relate it to Git and GitHub and see how it works together. Let me see. Give me a second. Okay, share again the window. Let me share my entire screen. I think I'm safe from you guys now. Share entire screen. Okay. Yeah. Then go to desktop. Can you guys see my desktop? Um, be able to see that.
Yes.
Um. Okay. So
Yes.
from certain times now, like maybe like 2 or 3 months ago, I share a document with us that okay, every one of us should go ahead and install Git on their system. So if you have not done that before, I think what you need to do is just to go to Google and type Git. Okay. Then this one is open my GitHub account. Git, I say, okay, Git. Then you can download the Git. You can open their website. If you are using your system, it will automatically detect your operating system. If you're on Windows, you're on Mac, you're on Linux, it will detect it and you'll be able to get it. Then you go ahead and install by clicking this guy. This download for Windows, this monitor screen, then you install. After you install it, you need to do a kind of configuration. If you need help on that, I think I should be able to help you. You can reach out to me. But then after you've done everything, you come to your desktop, you come and right click, you have this. But if you are a person like me that hates putting things on the desktop like this, you may not tell during the installation to ask you that okay, do you want to generate an icon for your desktop? And if you choose no, you may not be able to see it. You can just come to your desktop, right click, and you see you have Git GUI, and let me see, you have Git GUI and Git Bash. It may be very small. I will look a way of increasing it. So for now, we'll be using Git Bash because it will this Git bash will provide give us access to a Linux environment, the Linux that we've been talking about. You can see this is a Windows system, but now we want to work on Linux environment, and what this Git was built on is Linux. That's why we need to learn a bit of Linux command that we went through for some minutes now. Okay, I'll click on the Git bash. Okay, so my Git bash is up. Let me look for a way of including it. Okay, you should be able to see it by now. So, looking at this, it, this is like I'm opening my desktop. I open it from my desktop. This is my desktop. But now I want to be in the root of my system, like in the root part of my system. I need to move from this desktop to another directory. Okay, for instance, on my Windows, I am on desktop right now. To do anything, I need to move from this desktop. Okay, I want to open a browser. I will have to click this browser. But now I do not have access to clicking anything here. But I still need to work. Okay, so this is what we are talking about. Okay, I want to move out of this. I want to go to the root of my folder, like the root of my folder of my system. Okay, so now if I put CD, we know that CD is change directory. We talked about that before. I don't have other before. Okay, CD now. What I want to do is okay, I want to change directory. Okay, so I can say okay, I want to change directory from this desktop to another place. Okay, the reason why you are seeing OneDrive is because access to what's it called? Access to OneDrive that I have as a Microsoft user. Okay, so we saw this last time when I was showing us something on the. Let me be switching from those. Okay, yeah, we can see that where is this guy? Close this one. Close. Okay, yeah, we can see that CD. I said we can attach dot to it. We can attach that to it, and we can attach this particular website. And this one we are starting from it because it will help us. What it does is okay, it will take us directly from where we are to the root. Anywhere you are, it will take you directly from that place to the root. Okay, now you said CD, then shift, you will beside that particular one on your keyboard one. Okay, then if I push enter now, okay, so you can see I'm in the root, like I'm in that particular thing that I gave it. Okay, if I still want to, if I'm not satisfied with this, I can run CD alone, and it will take me to that particular place. Do we get that? Okay, from here now, I can perform several activities. Okay, so what we did not discuss before was clear. I can clear to let everything go. I've performed certain actions, but now I want to clean my screen. I want my screen to be clean. Then I will run clear. For those of us using Windows, we may need to run CLS to clear Windows, which is clear screen. Okay, but now we use clear here to clear our screen so that we have a bit of spaces to work on. Okay, so chain directory, we see that I can, let's say I can list this. I'll be using them interwoven. Like list, these are the things inside my root folder, like inside the root folder of my system. You can see a lot of unsafe gibberish that make my system worse. Okay, so these are them. So I can try to say, okay, now I have because I have videos, I have Eclipse, I have Eclipse workspace, uh, OneDrive, pictures, Postman, and other folders. Okay, that's not our interest. I want to change from this particular one to document. I want to change the document. I will now say, okay, change directory to document. What's my document? Okay, I type DOCU. Then I push my tab key. When you tap that tab key, it will just generate the nearest um, equivalent to that particular word that you type. Okay, for instance, I type CD and I want to go into the document. I can say DOCU. Okay, I can add as many as possible. Then push my tab key for autocomplete. It will now help me autocomplete. So if I change to this particular document, I've moved from one folder to the other. So that's what change directory does. Okay, so I can clear screen to see. Okay, we are now in documents. directory like folder, document folder. So I can list everything inside my document folder now. So I have my music folder there, I have my pictures folder there, and I have my videos folder. Do you get that? Okay, so I can still go ahead and go inside any of these. Okay, let's say for instance I want to go to my folder, my picture. For now, notice something. I'm unable to go from my to my I type my or I try to push my what's it called tab. There's no autocomplete. Why? Because my folder is different from other folders that we have. Why? Because it's two different names. Like the name is two. So and in programming and in computing generally, two things to make them one, we use string to make them one. Okay, you want to create a group of words, you have to make them in a string format. Okay, that's where the quotation concept come in. We are not in programming class, so we'll have go through why that one works that way. Okay, so you can now go ahead and saying your picture, what's it called? Your picture. So you can see when I started with quotation because it's two words. So here I want to advise us anytime we are creating a folder, we should avoid any way in any ways to create a two words folder. It's very, very bad. It's bad. So instead of creating a two words folder, just go ahead and just put hyphen there or put underscore as if you are writing a Python or what's it called? A Python variable name. You are not you will not be given an access to create a Python variable name and you putting space. It's not possible. That you use underscore and you can't use that one because that is another operator in Python. So what I'm trying to point out is when creating a folder name or any name, try to stick to one word. If you want to use multiple words, just use dash or use underscore. Do we get that? But in a case that okay, the thing that we are working on, we are not the one that created it. Okay, like this one now, I was not the one that created my picture. Okay, but now I want to go into my picture. The solution is okay, I will make it a string by putting this quotation, then my picture, by saying my picture, then push my completion auto complete to complete it for me. Then I can go to now. I've moved from root of my system to the documents folder. Then I'm now in my pictures folder. That makes sense to us. So I can use ls again to see okay what is inside what folder is inside my what's it called inside my pictures folder. So I have camera roll folder inside that um particular my pictures folder. I think that is making sense to us. So I can clear the screen again and say okay, let me do ls dash r and see what happens. You can see it listed what we have in the word. Same thing as ls, like what we have in the inside my pictures folder. Okay, let me do ls dash a. What can I have? Okay, there are some folders that were not shown before. Hidden folders, they are now shown now. Okay, when you are on your system, on your Windows system, you can try to go to view setting and say, okay, I want to be viewing what's it called? Hidden folders. This dot slash is an hidden folder. Dot slash is an other hidden folder. Okay, so the command that will help you review all those hidden folders are that is dash a rather ls dash a. Okay, to still get more information about this, you want to know the what's it called? The permissions you have on a particular folder or on a particular file. Use ls dash la. Okay, you can see that okay. My on the first what's it called? On the first hidden folder, I have it's a directory. This first bit say that it's a directory. I don't know, maybe you can see that. So it says it's a directory. We have a read permission. We have write permission. You can execute it, like you can open it, you can do it and undo on it, and it's also read. So this is basically telling us that okay, these are the things we can do on that particular folder. And same thing to other folder that we have here. We have every privileges. Every privileges on it are open for us. We can read, we can write, we can execute. You get that? Okay, that's that about ls, la, and all of that. Now I want to go out of this folder. I want to go out of my picture folder. So to do that, I will just use cd dot dot. So it will move out of my picture. You can see I was in my picture before, but now I'm no more in my picture. I'm now in my document, and you know that my picture is under my document. So to do all those magic is use cd dot dot. To change from upper level to lower level. They call the normal word they use in real world. They will tell you that okay, you are moving up of a particular direction, moving up a particular direction. So we should not be catch unknowingly like okay, I'm not aware that it's moving up or something. Okay, but then what we do is moving from one particular level to the other. So coming out of a particular folder is cd dot dot. To go to that folder, just put cd, then the name of the place you are going. Then you'll be able to push enter and you'll be able to get to place you are going. Okay, I'm now in my picture folder. Then cd dot dot will take me out of that. So I'm now in my document. Let me be sure that we are getting what I'm saying, or I'm just talking. I've been talking to myself. Does this make sense to us? Like the ls and the chain directory. Does it make sense to us at all?
Yes, sir. But
Okay. Do you have any question?
I have a question.
All right.
That one that you said, ls she dash la. What is the mean? Like, I don't really understand.
Okay. Now, for instance, let's say I list the first command is ls. Just list everything inside this particular folder. Okay. The second one is ls that a. This one will refill the hidden folder. You can see this one. If I open it on my system on a normal UI like GUI like user interface that I can click, I will see my folder, my picture, my video. But then I will not be able to see every other thing that this one wants to reveal for us. That's this A. So hidden folder that we have, this one will not be able to see it like now without dash A. So with dash A, we'll be able to see hidden folder. These are the hidden folder. These two guys, they are the hidden folders together with the one that we have before. Now, I want to see what are the privileges I have on these particular folders, all these folders that we have. What are the privileges, like permissions? What can I do on them? You know, there are some folders you cannot open them. Okay, maybe the admin locked them. There are some files you will not be able to open them because the admin has locked them because you are not an admin on that particular system that you are using. Okay, in that case, to now see that okay, this particular file or this particular folder, what is the permissions? What are the permissions I have on them? Then you use that L. Okay, what does L will do? Okay, you just pick the one that is not hidden. Okay, that L will be on hidden one. That's the one that L will work on. So you even give us the directive how we can move from one place to another to get there. But basically, we are talking about my music, and now these are the things I can do on them. We have rights, we have X means execute. There are that is a bit technical, but I'm trying my best to not go in depth like what they are doing behind the scene or under the hood because they may be very confusing at start. But then when we try to learn them abstractly for now, when we move on, at the end of the day, we'll get to know that okay, this is what this one means, this is what that one means. Okay, let me use this one to be able to view for the one that are hidden still. I use that LA. Okay, hidden A will give us the hidden files, that L will give us okay, what are the permissions that we have on them. Okay, you can see that the first one does not have this hidden one. It is because I added this A, that's why we have this. Okay, so now this one is telling us that okay, their directory, okay, and you can read, you can write, you can execute. That's what DW. You can read the file, you can write to it, you can execute it. Or the folder. Execute a folder means you can open that folder. Read the folder is also the same thing. Okay. You can see that's why it's trying to tell him it's trying here to tell us that okay, XR, execute and read. That's for folder. If it's a file, For us to be able to open a file, that means we need to be able to read that file as well. And if it's an executable file, the file that if you run it, you have to install something like MSI or .exe, all those executable files. You can be able to get the true picture of execute, which is X, what X does. Okay. I think it's I believe it's abstract, but if we try to catch up with it, we'll get hold of it very soon. Is there any question? Did I answer that question? Okay, what's the meaning of at the end of each item? Okay, so now to be able to explain this particular question, I'll go ahead and practicalize the third command, which is make directory command. I want to create my own particular my own particular what's it called? My own particular directory. Okay, so I want to create a directory, and I say okay, make directory mkdir. Okay, let me call it Mohammed. Okay, I'm creating a directory called Mohammed bar. So um so now you can see I've made a directory called Mohammed. I did not get an error. Not getting an error means okay, it's successful. It's worked the way we want it to work. If I type gibberish, like I type this and I say okay, junior, okay, you can see I get an error. It said this batch that we are using, command not found. Okay, but then if there is no an error, that means it is success. That's the meaning. Okay, so I can clear my screen. Remember, I created one um I created a directory. So let me list the content of this particular document. You can see that I have my music, I have my picture, and I have my video. And again, I have Mohammed. Now you can see that in my Mohammed, I do not have this particular ad. Okay. So the reason for this ads will now be like, okay, what can cause that is simply because all these folders that we have here was not created by me. It's been created by Windows builder, those guys that build Windows. It's there permanently for me. Unless I want to say, okay, I don't want access to video, I don't have access, I don't want access to pictures, I can decide to remove them. Okay, so this particular app will now be the one differentiating what I create myself and what those guys that build Windows operating system created for me. Okay, do we get that? Okay, so I think that should make sense a bit to us, but there are a bit of in-depth explanation, but I'm trying my best not to go very in-depth so that I'm not go ahead and be confusing us of what we need to know rather than what we what we are not concerned about. Okay, so now my command will now come in handy. I want to go into Mohammed folder that I created. I will just say CD. Okay, if I want to go to a particular folder, what will I do? I type the name of that folder with CD. Then I type MU. And looking at this one, there's nothing that relates to MU. So from that particular level, I can just push the my tab for also complete and boom, push it to Mohammed for me. Then this is what I want. I can push my enter. Now I'm in Mohammed folder. Okay, so I can do anything I wish to do from my members folder here. I can do anything I want to do. Okay, so to quickly rush to the other three commands so that we'll be able to relate it to Git today because I can see we spent up to 45 minutes examining what's it called commands alone and we've not even talked about Git itself. We just have to give abstract of knowledge like abstract of knowledge of Git. But then we need a practical knowledge of it. And I promise us we'll be able to get that before we leave here. Okay, I'm in Members folder and I want to create a file. To create a file, we'll mention that okay, we use touch. So I can create a file called rahma.python. I don't know, maybe that's correct. So .py. Okay, because I know Rama is a Python programmer. Okay, or I supposed to put it, or keep it like that. Now, in my moments folder, if I try to list this, I can only see the file that I have there. Okay, rama.py. Remember, nothing there inside this file. I mean, nothing inside this file. Nothing. I just created it. I didn't put any content there. Okay, to put content, we can do it from here too, but we may not be able to go into that today because of our time. So I created a folder. Okay, I want to check the privilege or the permissions I have on this file I created. Okay, I can say ls dash l. So now you can see now I have read and write operation on that permissions on that particular file, and I can read it, I can write to it, and you can see it's not executable file. So that's why I don't see anything like execute there, or there's nothing like ex x there. Okay, so I think that should be making a bit of sense to us by now. So that's the file I have there. Okay, so I can clear my screen again, and I may decided that okay, I don't want to be inside my next folder again. I can decide to move out of it by pushing cd dot dot. Does that make sense to us? Okay, so that's touch to create a file, and we should make sure very well here that the file you are creating, we should put the extension there. Okay, let's say I change. I want to create a file called what am I typing? I want to create a call txt now, for instance, a text file. Okay, I must include this txt. It's important, it's compulsory. Okay, so you should be able to know that okay, this is the type of file you want to create. Okay, you all know that txt file is not the same as js file, it's not the same as Python file and all of that. That's why we need to say it exclusively or into the one that is correct. Sha. Okay. Okay, touch the name of the file we want to create with the extension. Then that means if I should list the elements here, I have two files. I have Latifa's file and I have Programmer's file, which is one is Python file and the other one is text file. Okay, so that's how to create a file. How to create a file. Do we get that? Okay. Um, Now let's assume I have the command I did not talk about before. Let me see. Um, yeah, this place. Yeah, I've talked about make directory. I've talked about because it remains pseudo and different. We may not be able to practicalize those guys because I don't think I have anything that require admin privilege here. But then if I want to demonstrate it, I can say okay, maybe sudo remove, okay, remove okay, Latin parts. If you get an error bar. Okay, so now it's telling me that sudo is not recognized here. Why? Because I'm already an admin here. Like my privilege here is I'm the admin currently. Like nobody's more than powerful than me here. Okay, so repeating this is like what they call wasting of time. Okay, so then there are some circumstances that we may need to use sudo. Okay, we should take note that okay, if you are getting an error like okay, you don't have sudo privilege or you are not given this particular permission, what should come to our mind is okay, let me just go and use super admin do like super user do, which is sudo command to just execute this particular command I want to execute. And the last command is difference command. You just compare two files that we have. And I think I have a particular file for us, and I will be using that to show us two things together. So I'll be closing this guy like my I'll close my bash and on my desktop. Okay, so why are you disturbing me? Okay, on my desktop, I want to let me just open my my Explorer. I want to open this document. We're following this procedure. Okay, let's assume you want to open a particular directory, but you do not know where it's located. But if you have access to the interface, you can use your interface to reach there. Okay, you can use this method I'm trying to use now. Then inside the private workshops, you can see all those are the name, all the things I created myself. What's the name? The workshop, where did I put? Okay, Git Linux. So I created two files inside this Git Linux. I don't know, maybe we can see that. Let me see if it can go up. Um, okay, I have one file called a.txt. So inside my a.txt, okay, this one should be able to come up. Okay, inside my a.txt, I have ABC on line one, DEF on line two, GHI on line three, line four, and I create a new line. I think we know the meaning of this, like create a new line. All of us are programmers, except me here. Okay, so we are creating a new line. That's what we have in the file called a.txt. To get that, okay. Now, and I go ahead and create another file called b.txt. b.txt on my, okay, let me zoom that one in. So on my line one of b.txt, I have jkl, def, ghi, mno. Okay. Well, what we should notice is that, okay, the line two and line three in A and B, they are the same, but line one and line two are different. Okay, and their last line they all end with new line. Okay, so that's a common convention for us to know. Now, the one logic that we should note here is that if you are using Windows like me, you can come here and just click. I click on the bar, like the bar here. I think you can see my hand where I'm moving my hand, where you have this PC, the name of new volume B, private workshop, and the final destination you are, like the folder you are in. Okay, so if I click here, okay, what it can do is, okay, it's able to give me, it's highlight everything that particular directory. One way I can go is copy this and open my Git bash and navigate to that particular place. Do we get that? I can just copy it. I will do the two methods. Okay, I can say, okay, open my Git bash. Okay, I can go to my root and I want to go to that particular place. Okay, to be able to do that, I may need to put it in a string format, and I need to paste what I've copied. Oh, you may not see. Let me enlarge it. Okay, so I may need to paste it. To paste, you just have to right click and paste that. Then close your this thing. Then you can see that right now I'm in that particular place that I open on my um interface. So if I list this, we will be able to see A and B. You can see we have a.txt and b.txt. We get that. Okay. So I can go ahead to list to read the content of this a.txt by saying cat a.txt. You can see it's like cat is like open it for me and let me read what is inside. Okay, so ABC, DEF, PHI, and IOP. Okay, let me read the content of B.txt. Okay, so B.txt is JKL, DEF, GHI, and MNO. So the command we want to practicalize here is diff command. We want to see the difference between these two files, both A and B. Okay, so we just put diff, which is difference. Then we put the name of the first file and the name of second file, B.txt. Okay, so if I push this, you can see that, okay, it tells me that in my A, line one in my A is different from line one in my B. Line one in my A is ABC, and line one in my B is JKL. Okay, that one is correct. That's the difference. That's the difference. So if you want to match our pre-request now, what Rashid does, what Taiwo does, we want to put them together. Okay, we know that. Okay, let's assume to be able to get this very well. This is my branch. This A is Rashid branch, and this B is Taiwo's branch. Okay. In Rashid's branch, Rashid edits the content and he added A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, and IOP. Okay. But when Taiwo comes, he added JKL and leave what is in the middle and go ahead and add MNO. But then we need to compare the two and say, okay, are these things the same? If they are the same, then we'll be able to say, okay, lane, this one we should put for this and we should put this one for this. We'll get it better, sure. But that's the concept of branching and how matching comes into play in real life. Okay, now it's now telling us that line one in A is this and line one in B is this. Then if you are to match them together, we should make this line 1 in A and line 1 in B, push both of them, line 1, line 2, and make them in our repository. And it's telling us that, okay, if you go to line 4 too in A and line 4 in B, they are different. Okay, if you want to match them together, you go ahead and do the match. Okay, that's the difference. And I think we've learned a lot. We learned cards, how to read a file, and other ways to do that. But for now, let's just stick with that. That's okay. We read a file and all. And we are able to check the difference between that files line by line. Okay, so for now, we stop at Linux command and we go ahead and use the next 15 minutes to talk about Git command and how we can apply what we've learned here to Git command. But before then, I would like to take any question that we have, any comment that we have. What's the meaning of cat? Yeah, I mentioned it several times now that cat is just to read the content of the file. To read content of the file. Okay. Let's say we know that. Okay, let me just clear this guy away. If I list this, I have two files. I have a.txt and I have b.txt. Okay, but a.txt is a file and it has a content. There's a particular content inside it. Okay, but I need to read it. Okay, it's the same to a Microsoft Word document. If you want to read it, you just cat it. You say cat is a command. So, like they call it no, no, no. I think the abbreviation of the full meaning of it is like something like concatenation or something. But then what it basically means is okay to read that content of a file. You know, to read content of a folder is ls, but now to read content of a file is cat. Okay, we should try to get it that way. So cat, the name of the thing we want to read. I want to read the content of a file, and just print it out for me, and I have it this way. I can read it. Okay, does that make sense to us? Do I answer that question?
I have a-
Okay, go ahead.
um we were trying to use sudo the other time and it was showing error. I think sudo is meant for you removing a file you created, for probably something you created, right? Or folder you created.
Sorry, can you come again? I didn't get that. I didn't get
I
the last
said
part.
sudo is it used for when you're trying to delete a folder you created earlier, right?
Okay, sudo is a command that can be used on let me see, that can be used on any of the commands. But basically, what it does, it gives us that admin power. I mentioned that okay, an admin, the permission an admin has is different from the permission ordinary user have. Okay, for instance, now an admin of a WhatsApp group, for instance, admin of a WhatsApp group can remove a user from a particular WhatsApp group, but ordinary members of the group cannot remove a user. Okay. If you want to relate that to a Linux environment, we say that okay, the permission admin is having is different from the permission ordinary members are having. Okay, now let's now assume that okay, the admin is not available and you want to delegate that um permission to somebody. You now be like, okay, Rashid, I want you to be an admin here, and for you to be an admin, maybe you should come and log into my account, and my password is this. Okay, so now if I want to perform administrative, the reason why it's if I want to perform administrative power, I will have to say, okay, I'm a super user, I'm a super user, so I want to be able to do what the super users do. That's why it's super user do. Okay, I want to do what a super user can do. A super user is like an admin user. Okay, that's the meaning, and they abbreviated it to sudo. So now the reason why you were mentioning that okay is because you want to remove a file. Okay, sometimes you may not have a privilege to delete a file or delete something from a particular server or from a particular environment. That's why you now need to be given that privilege before you can be able to do it. Okay, so it's not only remove. There are sometimes you not be able to read a particular file, and for you to be able to read it, you need an admin privilege. That's why you need to know that okay, for you to know, oh, do I have an admin privilege on a particular thing? Do I have and a read privilege, you have a read permission, you have a write permission. That's why you need to know LX plus L. Okay, so to be able to know that okay, the permissions you have and permission the admin we know that an admin has every permission, all the permission are for admin. Okay, for us now to do the work of an admin, we should be able to have that permissions admin have. That's why we now need to add sudo to any command we want to run. Does that make sense to us?
Yes, but then why does that the other time the pseudo showed error? So why is it that
Yeah.
you're not the admin yet there or what?
Now, from the beginning, I mentioned that okay, the environment that we are simulating now is not 100% Linux. Okay, like this batch that we are using, I'm on Windows. I install batch to simulate to simulate Linux environments. One, I'm the admin here, like I'm the admin, and it's telling us that okay, you are telling me admin, but admin is not. You are telling me sudo, but sudo is not a command. You can see another command that we use in Linux is man. Man is just to get more information about a particular command. Let me see uh, which I'm turning it. Okay, so see now this which what it does is basically to tell us more about a particular command. Now it now said in this particular on this my system, see, I'm the user, I'm the admin user here, and this is everything that you need to navigate to me on this particular system. For you to have this access, for you to have access completely to my system, you can connect remotely to my system and navigate to this particular uh, part I'm highlighting. But now it's telling me that okay, this is not available. Sudo is not available in this particular in this particular directory, in this particular um what I don't know what to use. But basically the reason why we are getting that error is because of the simulation parts that we are using. If you are on real Linux environments, there is no issue getting that. You will not be getting that kind of issue. So that answer the question again. Um,
Yes.
but not clear, but you still have some doubts to clear. Hmm? Yes or no? Can you bring echo command? Okay.
Hello.
We are here. Oh.
Iwe ni chip tutolo.
Yeah, hello, can you hear me now? Hello.
Yes, yes.
Am I back? Am I on? Am I on? I don't know what's
Yeah,
happening to my network. Okay. So where are we? Like, do we get all the explanation here on the screen? Do all this? Okay, I'm not sharing it. I will need to share my screen. Here is okay. So do we get all this? Like, hmm? Is all this clear to us? Like, where are we?
I think it
Because
stopped recording before you reach the echo part too.
okay, I should retake the all the echo part.
Yes.
I don't know what's happening to my network. Just going up, coming back. Let's just keep managing it. Yeah. Okay. Back to my this. Okay. So if you cannot hear me, somebody should just call me on WhatsApp. I will know that okay, I've been off. Okay, because and can see all what I've demonstrated before, but now I have to repeat them again. Okay. So I said Echo. What Echo does is like a Python print, like print in Python. So if I say echo something for me, it means just print something, like print something for me. So it will just what it will do is it will just print it. That's all what Echo does. Okay then, but then and we can try to attach many things to Echo to be able to do many other things other than ordinary Echo, other than printing it. And I said to do that, what you need to do is just add this greater than sign. I can't remember the name. It has a name, but call it greater than for now. So what you do is just say echo. But now I want to go to the last command I ran, which is echo something for me. Okay, I don't need to retype it again. I can just push arrow up on my keyboard and I'll get the last command I run, like the last command I use. If I still push up again, I will get the one before that. But now, I just want to go for the last one I run, which is echo something for me. Then I will add the greater than sign to be able to write it to a particular file or to push it to another file. And I may decide to push it to any file. I can say, okay, just push it to uh, .js, c.js. I want to echo something for me into c.js. What it means is that, okay, put something for me in c.js. So if I push enter, because I did not get an error, it means, okay, it worked by, it's success, it worked successfully. Okay, then um, to be able to see that, I can just list the elements, the content of this folder. Okay, I have a.txt, b.txt, c.in, and c.js. For now, c.js is what I write, what I echo something to. So I can catch that, I can read the file of c.js and see whether it will be the same as something that I put there. And unfortunately for us, it's printed out something. Is it for unfortunately for us, it's printed out something for me, which is something I put there. Okay, so to do that, just write, you use echo. If you use echo without this greater than sign, you just print out what you put in front of it. Okay, but if you add greater than to it, instead of possibility. Okay, if you add some greater than to it, then you'll be able to read it, then write that particular thing, the string you added to it, write it to another file. That's advanced level, sure, but basically let's just take it as small like that. I think that makes sense for us. Any other question? We need to talk about this before we leave here, and our time is fast
No
spent.
question for me.
Sorry,
No question,
what
no
did you say?
from me. Sha.
Okay, okay. No question, but let's type it in the chat. You cannot speak. No question, so that we can move on and talk about Git and see how it works and how Linux commands can help us do amazing things. Oh, come on. Nobody's typing. Oh, am I off again? Come on. Okay, if nobody's typing, I want to believe it's yes that. Okay, um, we take
What did
that.
he say? He said, should we do something?
I do not need anything. No. I was asking that do we have any questions? And at exactly 6 o'clock
Okay,
for my time, I'll carry on.
it's 5:59 here.
Sorry,
No, no, nothing, nothing.
I think we only have 15 minutes. We immediately to 6 o'clock. We spent a lot of time here. Um, speech. Okay. I think we can go ahead now. So, we all know that Git. Okay, let me clear my screen. Um, we all know that Git is like uh, a local repository of GitHub. Okay. If you initialize a Git in your folder, okay, okay, to now know the importance of what we've learned, I will be using all those commands to do all the things I will be doing. I will not be using my interface to do anything else. So what I was trying to explain was okay, um, Git is the local version. What Git help us to do is help us to create a local version of our repository, of our remote repository. Okay, now let's say I want to create um I want to create a project, for instance. Let me use the word project. And the name of my project is Learning Git. That's the name of the project I want to create. Learning Git. Okay. Or Git class. Okay. So the first thing I need to do is to create um a directory for myself and call it Learning Git class. Or let me say Git3 class. Remember, I said it's not advisable to just use two words. If you use two words, it will not work on this command line interface. So it's better to use that. Okay. So I created in a directory or a folder called G3 class, which is get good at Git class. Okay. So now what I need to do is to migrate into that particular um to move into that particular directory I create by saying cd, then the G3 class I create. So I can use autocomplete to do that for me. And now I'm in G3 class, uh, G3 class directory. Okay, so for me to be able to use Git in this particular place, first thing I need is to initialize Git. To initialize Git, I need to use the Git command called git init. What this one will do is it will help it's just create okay, if I list, let me go this way. If I list the command the element here, we all know that it's empty, like the thing here is empty, there's nothing inside this folder. You get that? Okay, but now if I still go ahead and say okay, list the hidden files, there's no hidden file. Okay, but now to be able to use Git now, I need to create to set this folder that okay, I want to be using Git here. I want to create a local repository of Git3 class. So to do that, I need to run git init. So that's the git command. Git, then init. You have to maybe memorize or keep using it so you know how to use it. So Git init will help. What it will do is it will create an hidden file. That hidden file will be the one to contain everything that will keep track of whatever we are doing in that particular folder. So if I run this, okay, you can see it said initialize empty Git repository. I told you that what Git does is help us create a local repository of whatever we want to be doing. So Git init will help us initialize empty file or empty version of that. Okay, and if I list this directory, you can see I can't see anything. But if I say ls-la, or let me say ls-l, I'm coming ls-a. Okay, ls-a. I have access to this particular guy, which was not there before. This Git. So it is now the one that is will be the one managing everything for me. It is the one that created this master. You can see before I said I run this Git init. Before I run this Git init up here, there is nothing like master in front of this. But now immediately I run the code, I have this. Okay, so it is the one keeping track of everything I have here. So now I'm having a master branch, which is this. Okay, so the concept behind master, when we get there, we'll see. For now, I have an empty repository of the thing I want to create. Okay, let's say the first thing I want to say is I want to create an attendance list for us. Okay, I want to create a file and put the attendance of everybody that attends this class. Okay, so I can decide to use many different ways. Okay, I can say okay, let me say the first method is let me just use echo and echo the name of people that are present in today's class into the file, into a particular file. Okay, so I can say echo, then the name of the thing I want to do. What's it called? The name of the people I want to be doing, or I want to put into a particular file. Okay, this will work when we have a very small things to put into that particular place. Let's say, for instance, I want to say Mohammed, then I want to say, oh my God, I want to say Muhammad, I want to say Latifat. Okay, I can use comma if I want. Okay. So let's say what I want to echo into a file like okay, I want to call it attendance. Okay, I can call it .in, .txt, .anything, .python, .py, and anything. Okay, I've put our names into an attendance list now. Okay, if I cut attendance list for us now, we'll be able to see that okay, these are the things we have inside there. We have memory, and this. Okay, but now the thing that it says, okay, what does this mean? Okay, again, if I want to put something bigger, like 10,000 lines or 100 lines of code into a particular file, it's now advisable for me to open up a particular text editor that I want to use. Okay, so I can go ahead and open up any text editor I want to use. Let's say I want to use Notepad, for instance. I can say Notepad, then attendance, then it open up my what's it called? My notepad editor. If you are using Visual Studio Code, you can type code, then the name. You can use any editor you want to be using. Then I will start to add anything. Okay, I can say okay, Mohammed participated in class. Mohammed is usually disturbing class. Let me say Mohammed disturbed the class. Disturbed the class. Okay, let's say Ramat asked question in class. Um,
Sorry, are you typing something because it's not showing here?
Oh God, God, I'm not sharing my entire screen. That's why. Okay, I get that. Okay, thank you for that. Um, I need to switch. I need to share my entire screen so that I'm able to stop sharing for a second. Start sharing again. Entire screen. Share. Then go there. Okay, what I did was, okay, I typed Notepad attendance was in, right? So that's the name of the file we want to use Notepad to edit. Okay. Apart from Notepad, we have different um, text editor. Like the one I have on my system, I have code like Visual Studio Code on my system. So I can use code, then the attendance and all of that, and it will do the same thing. What again? We have VI, which is built into Linux environment. Okay, so we have all of them, and we can use all of them to anyone that we are comfortable with. Okay, open code let me create it. Okay, it has closed. Okay, let me say clear. You can see the uppercase works, but it's advisable to work with lowercase. Okay, what I did was API, API attendance, in, and it's open up. These are VI text editor, but this one require another level of expertise to operate your bit file here. Okay, so we are not using it. I will just click on it. Like let me just type QA, then go ahead and okay, what am I typing? QA. I say Q. I want to Q. Okay, insert. What insert? I'm coming. I'm trying to solve something. Something is running in my background. Okay, okay, okay. Sorry about that. Okay, something went wrong. Mm, Give me a second. Let me research that. Let me go back to where it comes from. Mm, you can see how I'm pressing up arrow key just to navigate to all the things that we are using for us. So I can see the G3 class. Then in this my G3 class I have attendance. Let me clear screen. And now what I was trying to do is okay, I want to open the file we created with Notepad. In case we have many things to put into that particular file more than just a line. So you can see you open up my what's it called my notepad editor directly for me. And from there I can start editing by saying okay Mohammed discuss the class. That's what I typed here before discuss the class. Um I'm not asking. I think that's important. I don't know the spelling of watching again. Oh, I can just put an emoji like smile emoji. Let me just end this line like a programmer. Then I can save this. Okay, now I've added multi-line to this, and this is the easiest way to do it. Just open up an editor and add whatever you want to add, right? So I just put on save, then I want to close it. I don't know again. Then I can come here and cut the content of attendance. You can see it has been updated. It has been updated like with the thing I added to it. Okay, so that's one. And now this is being tracked by Git. I can go ahead and say Git status. Now listen, Git status will tell us the status of what Git is able to track. Git status. Um, it will tell us the what Git repository is being what it's able to track basically. Okay, so now it now said okay, we did not have any commits on our master branch. Said okay, you're on your master branch right now. Okay, if you're on another branch, it will tell you that okay, this is the branch you are on. But right now you're on master branch, you have no commits. That means you've not what you have it has no effect on the repository you created, and it is being on track. Like nobody is tracking it for you. If you go ahead and delete it, you cannot get them back. Or in other say for you to be able to track it, you need this command, this git add then the file name. git add the file name to include in what will be committed. So whatever you had is what you'll be able to commit. Okay, so this particular command I want to talk about now is the same thing as is more similar to ls. It works the way ls work. This add command it works like the way ls work. Let's say I want to add everything inside this folder, inside the g3 class folder. This particular command will add everything inside the git3 command, but it will not add everything inside the git linux command. I don't know, maybe we'll get that. You can see that okay, git linux is a folder and git3 class is another folder. Now, if I say git add, it will only add what is inside git3 class. Remember, we initialize our git inside the git3 class, not inside the git linux class. I didn't mean that we initialize it inside the git linux class folder or directory. Uh, it means that whatever we push from git3 class will be everything inside the Git Linux class will also be added to what is inside the Git class. It may be a bit confusing, but then the best way to go about it is say, okay, the folder where you initialize the Git is your root folder. That's the minimum root you can be. So remember, when we initialize our Git, it was inside the Git3 class. So the minimum place we can go is Git3 folder. The root of our folder is Git3. You can't go beyond Git3 class and go inside the Git Linux or go inside the workshop. It's a bit confusing, but when we try to practicalize it, it makes a more sense to us. So git add, we just add everything that we've done. That's one. Okay, let's say we just have a single file and I just want to add that single file I have. I'll just put the name of that single file here and push it there for me. Git add attendance.in. Then if I push enter, it said warning, left, that's LF means left hand or left side or left, anything you want to put it, will be replaced with CRLF. This is how this what's it called? Git is designed. You don't need to know what is going on there. It's none of your concern. Okay, if you are working on real life projects, most especially what's it called? JavaScript projects, what you need to know is okay, we have something called ESLint that will handle all this stuff for you. So you don't need to bother yourself, just forget about it. What you need to get here is okay, git add with the file name you want to add or the directory you want to add, you just add that particular thing for you. So now if I run my git status again, we will see that it will change from the old on track to track now. Oh nice. Now said okay, you are still on your master branch, you have no commit, but then change committed. Why is it committed? It's because it's been tracked from your local system to the stage version of your Git. You know, I had mentioned in the beginning that the Git init that we did, what it does is it creates a kind of repository for us locally. And for us to be, what we did was we picked the attendance file we created and we pushed it to that repository that we created to. You know, that repository is locally too, but it's being managed by
Your
what?
network
By
is breaking. Oh,
God Almighty.
I can hear you
Uh,
clearly. Oh. I can
okay,
hear you
okay,
clearly, sir.
okay. Maybe Ramata should check his network, but I will try to take that part again. I have to take that and I can see what's the meaning of on my own system. It show main rather than master. Yeah, it will show me because you just install Git like you just install Git. You know the number of years I've installed my Git. Don't worry, we'll get to all of that. That's no. I can configure this particular one to be showing main too. Just like I will just have to run git config and do the configuration there. It's possible. So no, don't expect yourself, okay? So let me just retake this in a second, like in some seconds. What I said is okay. After we run git add and I run git status will tell you the status of your git and your local environment. Okay, that's what it does. So the git status is telling me that I'm on master branch. Okay, the guy that said it's on main branch, it will now be main branch in its own side. It's telling us that we did not have any commit. Commit is that okay, we finally agree that okay, everything you've done is ready to be pushed to the remote repository. That's what commit does. When we get there, we'll see how it works. Okay, so Git no commit yet. We do not have any commit. But now it said changes to be committed. These are the file that's being tracked. What is being tracked is attendance.in. Why is being tracked is because we use a command called git add to track it. Okay, git add attendance.in. I don't know how to speak big grammar. Maybe it's difficult for you to get, but then try to manage the little I know. Yeah. So what it means is okay, we created attendance.in locally. Then we created another Git3 class repository using Git by using Git in it. It's also locally, but now the difference is we have our ability or we have the capability to be able to track Git from remote source at the end of the day. But we don't have capacity to track my local system if I not connect to SSH or other stuff that they used to connect. Okay, we don't have that. Okay, for now, for us to be able to connect to that, we now need Git to be able to create a kind of repository for us. What I need now is to put what I have locally and push it to the repository I created using Git in it. The big grammar, but let's just think about it for a second to make sense for us. Okay. So what I did was just pick the one I have locally, push it to the repository I created using Git init. That's the simple language I can use for now. Okay, so that's what that one does. Oh, so after that, that I now ran that, you now tell me that okay, whatever you had is what you can be able to commit. That's what this side is telling me that changes to be committed is this one, is this new file that you created. Okay, let's say I go ahead and I continue my work after I've see that. Let's say let me open Notepad with attendance again, and I come here and come to remove this line. Let me just remove this line. I can remove this emoji, laughing emoji for the guy asking for the meaning. I, that's like I'm just laughing at you. Okay? Let me just leave it that way. If I save it now, you can see that I've removed a line and one stroke, one forward slash. Okay, now, so if I say this status now, um, now you can see that there is a particular level that's been tracked. The level that has a that has a blank line and has a stroke after the laughing emoji. Okay, but now another part is being tracked, which I've not pushed to the local repository, but it's on my local system. And now say, okay, you modify the new file you created before, you've modified it. I noticed that, but the problem is that it's not going to be committed. It's not going to be committed because you've not added it. For me to be able to commit this now, I need to go ahead and say, okay, let me add it again to what I have before. So say git add attendance. He said, okay, I've successfully added it. So if I see push this status, we can see that changes to be committed is now one, and we have everything being tracked. So at this stage, we will say that okay, this is a stage level, like this is being staged. What we did, all what we've done, we've staged attendance.in to the local repository that we created. Does that make sense for us? It will take a lot of time, but I believe we should be able to get it. I want to get through all the simple commands today. If you have another time to come back here, we'll now talk about the advanced commands that we need to be able to perform some other crazy stuff. Okay, so now we talk about init, we talk about this status, and we talk about git add, and we'll see how those things work together. Okay, let's say now I've completed my project. Now for me to push it to the what's it called, remote repository. But now I just stage it. It's not yet committed. Then I have to commit it. Okay, for me to now know that okay, how many times have I staged something? How many times have I done something crazy? So we have another command called git log. If I push git log, it said, oh, your current branch master does not have any commits yet. So what Git log does is okay, it will help you track the number of commits you are making. Once you make a commit, it will track it for you, generate an ID and everything. We'll see when we get there. So I'm just giving this to us as an S of that. Okay, Git log will be able to tell us like an history of what we did. Okay, that's the simple word to use, an history of what we did. Okay. So so what I need next is to commit what I did, like attendance. I want to commit it. I want to move it to the next level. Okay, to be able to be trackable by my remote repository, which the remote repository is the GitHub. Because here now we are Git, everything we are doing now is Git. Now we need to connect it to Git remote, which is GitHub. So that's how the two comes together, and from there we can now see the difference between the two. Let me see if somebody's asking me another question. Okay, I'm getting a question yet. Okay, so I can go ahead and say let me clear so that we can see everything. So I can say git what's it called? Git commit. So git commit is the command for committing. But now for me to commit this, we need to tell other people that we are working with that okay, this is the thing I'm committing. Okay, I cannot say dash M. Dash M is a flag. We used to say that okay, message. It means message. Okay, then I cannot come here and put my message. So I will put my message in the quotes. Cannot say attendance taken in the class. Me, I don't know, maybe this is an English, but taken in the class. Is this the correct English? Have you took in class? No, my God. Okay, that's your purpose. Yeah. Okay, but then we should take note here. When we want to work with open source projects, there are some standards that the maintainer will give us that okay, if you want to commit your commit message should be like this. Okay, there are some standards that they will give us. Okay, so we should take note. We cannot just write this, but now I can write anything I wish, whether it's correct or not. It will work. So he tell us that okay, we are master branch. Okay, we are master. We have our commit ID, and he said attendance taking. This is the message that I added, and he said the number of files that we added is just one file, and I had six insertions, like six different lines, and the created mode is this. Doesn't we don't need this like talking about PID when time comes we get to that, so we don't need that for now. So I can go ahead and say git log to tell me the history. Like okay, git log is telling me that okay, I've committed it. This is the full ID of it. Okay, this is the name of the guy, the author, and this is his name. This is his email address. This is the time he did it, and all of that. So you can see everything has been tracked completely. And this is the commit message I added. So I can there is a way for me to go back to where I come from, and that's Git reset. If you have some other times, we talk about that. But for now, let's stick with this because I want to connect this to my remote repository to complete this particular class to make a lot of sense to us. Okay, so I've committed it. That means I'm almost done with everything offline. I have the power to push it to the online repository now. But one problem is I don't have an online repository. There's no way I can communicate with an online repository. I only have offline, everything offline. So now that's where GitHub now comes in. So we can navigate to GitHub, github.com. You don't have an account, go ahead and create one. You have one, go ahead and create a repository. Then by clicking this guy, I believe you can see this new part. Let me see if I can show you. This should be wow. Okay, this new. I can click on this. I can click on this new Latina people. Okay, so all I need to do is just give it a name. What should we give it? You can give it the same name we have on local repository. Okay, call it this class. If it is available to check it for us, you can give the description, class attendance. If you wish, we can just leave it empty. The only compulsory thing here is the name. Now, if you belong to many organizations, like work with organizations that have created their own organization repo, you'll be able to change from them, like choose from like the list you have. You can see these are the list of organizations I have on my own. But for you may just have your username there with your avatar. You get it? Okay, you can make it public or private. If you're making this public, you can initialize leave me, but for now I'm not initializing that. I'm leaving it there by default and click on create repository. Okay, so now I've created a repository. We now have an online repository. So what I need to do now is, okay, I need to connect this remote. We call this one remote repository. The one we have locally, we call it local repository. This online one, which I have on my GitHub, I want to connect my remote repository with the local repository. So these are the things I need to do. This guy is telling us that okay, if you have an empty thing, you can go ahead and do this. But if you don't have an, if it is not an entity, you can initialize. We've done that. We have something like this before. We've passed this level. We've done all of this. The thing that we need to do now is this. He said we should change branch. If I wish, I can change the branch to main, like to be able to synchronize with others. Okay, the difference between this one is okay, when it was created in the first place, it was master. But as time goes on, we had issues like Black Lives Matter and all. People are like, okay, it's like they are underrating people by calling themselves master and all of that. Okay, so that was an issue around that particular one. And we decided to change it from master to main to just celebrate the life Black Lives Matter stuff. Okay, so that's a great story around that one. Okay, so if I wish, I can go ahead and change branch. Okay, so the command we want to learn, the reason why I will do that is for us to learn this particular branch command. Okay, branch command does two things. Okay, I can, if I say git branch. Okay, I think I've copied it, but let me type it out. Git branch. What does it mean is that okay, if I want to change from one branch to the other, okay, now I'm in master branch. Looking here at the top of my screen here, this particular place, the place I'm highlighting, this place, okay, you can see it's master. But the moment I change from master to main, so it will automatically change it to main automatically. It means I'm changing from one branch to the other. Okay, so you can see it changed from master to main. Let me clear screen. But before then, it was master here, but when you get there, it's main. So I change it from branch to branch. Okay, we have others like this checkout to create a new branch of our own. Okay, so next time I think we should have a better time to explain that. But for now, I've switched to that, and I can come here and say, okay, I want to add the remote to my local. So I can copy this guy, come here to paste it, but you can write it out. You are free to write it out. Again, write it out and say git remote add origin, then the URL to that particular repository you want to add as an origin to this. Then just push your enter. If my network is good, I've added it, successfully added. You did not get a message, but then if you did not get an error, it means success. Okay. And lastly, it's not yet. It's now the two are connected. Offline and online are connected. But now I need to take what I have offline online. Okay, like the same way I added my local file to my local repo when I use GitHub to do that. But now to now push the offline one, the local one, to the online, and I need to use this particular command. Git push origin main. Type it out yourself, or should I go ahead and type it? But now I've copied it. If it does not paste, that means I will git who is git push, that's you, origin main. Okay, this main is just the name of the branch we have and the branch we want to push. Okay, if you are using your own particular different branch, you just say okay, maybe Ramat branch or the name of the branch you created. That should be an assignment for us. We will all create a branch. I will show us how to create a branch and we create it and we push our own to it. Okay. Git push that's new origin main. Okay, if I do this and everything works well, I push enter, but then trying to connect and try to push what I have. Now you can see this push enumerates three done 100% and blah blah blah. And I have main to main connected to each other. And I have everything on my repository. So if I come here, you can see I have this before, but immediately I refresh this, I should have that file that we edited. You can see I have attendance.in. That means what I have offline is being tracked online. You can see I've made my commit 8 minutes ago. Okay, so I can track that, and this was my commit message. If I click here, I'll be able to see more information about that commit. Information given to me when I push git log the other time. Some of the information will be there. This is the git the commit ID, the message will be there, and all of that. And somebody can come here to comment and all. Okay, so the point here is okay, it's now we now have what we have offline, we have it online, and everything is being connected together. But now the last thing I want to show us is branches, because that is going to be our assignment, and that's what we use as assignments to practice all what we've done. We spent a lot of time here. I'm sorry for taking a lot of our time. Okay, so I want to show us to create a branch. So I can say git checkout. This is how to create a branch. Then dash b. Let's say dash b. I can call it Rashid. That's the name of my branch. Okay, you can say I've switched from. You can see that I've switched from main to what to Rashid, which is another branch I created just now. So to create a branch is git checkout dash b Rashid. You get that? Okay. I can now go ahead and say, oh, I want to edit the file we are the attendance file we are having. Okay, I can say, okay, let me just open it with Notepad and say attendance.in. Okay, I can say, okay, now I want to add a comment and say comment. I'm rushing. Let me just say Rashid work goes here. He loves himself. Oh my god, what did I do? Enter. Let me just do it this way to make it he loves himself. Why am I typing? Okay, I can save this. Now you can see now that okay, I will show us something. I've saved that. Now I can now push this to the online repository. But now there will be another problem. What will be the problem is okay, let me just check status so that we know how it works together and we will know what's going on. Now I said okay, this branch. You can see it said I'm on branch Rashid, and this is being modified and it's not yet being tracked. So the first thing for me is to say git add what I added. If I don't know what I maybe I edited thousands of files, I'll just push this and everything will be added automatically for me. And that's added. I can go ahead and commit and say, oh, that's Rashid added since okay, then push it. I committed that. Okay, now the thing now is okay, we need to push it to the online repository. Okay, with this work, I can say git push. Let's say git push and it's okay. Did I push ls? Where did I put out? Yeah, let me type git push and it says packer. The current branch Rashid has no upstream branch to push the current branch and set the remote upstream. Now you can see why is this happening? It's because we only have main branch coming here, coming to our GitHub. I don't want to overwhelm us. These are the where this where the branches will live, all the branches that we have. If I click here, you can see that I only have one branch, which is main branch. If I fill up branch, you still have one branch, okay, which is the main branch, this particular branch. But then we can still create new branch. We can create it locally and we can create it, we can come here to create it as in on GitHub. I can immediately you start typing what is not here before to tell you that okay, do you want to create it? You can just click create and boom, you'll be able to create a branch from that. Okay, so I'm on this branch. I can say okay, let me just copy the SSH of this. But now this particular SSH is not there's no difference between this and this. So if you still go back, you go back and say git push. tell you the same thing. You'll be like, oh, what's going on? What about if I try this push that's you, Origin, Rashid? Will this work? I want a suggestion. I want us to talk. What do we think? Will this work for us? We only have like 10 minutes to live there. Will this work? Let me check chat. What's the difference between this checkout command and the branch statement? Okay. Will this work? Nobody's talking. Is the main at the end of the
Yes, it should work.
Are you sure? Why did you say it will work? What did you say?
Okay. Well, I feel I feel the origin is the repository, and then we are pushing it to the branch, to the Rashid branch at the origin.
Okay, okay. Is there any opposition, like anybody disagreeing with that? Mm. Be like, that's what we are learning. Why are you asking us garbage questions? Okay, no Allah. Okay, I'll come back to all these questions after we push it. And let me push it and see what happens. And it's loading. It's like it's loading, and wow, it push it to the repository. So if I come here, um, where's my GitHub? I can now see. You can now see that I say Rashid had recent pushes less than a minute ago. That means it's telling me that okay, I can create a few requests. That's another thing, and I think we need to check that one out too. So valued. I'm sorry, it's because we did not have enough time in bit by bit. For now, we do not know when else will be available again. Okay, but then what few requests we do is okay. It will be the one to now check that difference, the difference we talked about in the beginning, the Linux command we talked about. Okay, let's just say create few requests and see what happens. Create a few requests. My network is slow again. That means I will be breaking. But what's happening to this network? Okay, okay, you can see it automatically added the commit message here, and you can see there are a lot of information we can get. Consider okay, let me just say just merge it for me, merge it for me. Okay, let me just create that pull request for now. Create PR. There are a lot of things to do here, but next time we'll be doing that so much. Network is slow. Okay, there's something I want to show us here. let's let's check, let's check out this, okay. Let me go back to this here. If you check file change, you see that it's the same thing as what difference does for us. You can see this particular place was highlighted because the particular place that was changed that is different from the original one is the one that was highlighted, and that was what what's it called difference did for us too. It shows us the difference between the old and the new, the difference between the two files we are trying to compare. Okay, so that's why we need to get a bit of knowledge of that and see okay, when it happens here, we know that okay, this is really what's going on behind the scenes here. So we can see this is highlighted because it's comparing the difference between them. The line that are not different, that are not differ, that are the same, were not highlighted with green. But now this one is highlighted with green because it is the one that is different from the other. Okay. So for that, I will have to stop here. You can see I'm getting tired already. But then we should be able to take it from the beginning to where we are and be able to make a PR. I will go ahead and merge it for us, hopefully, and we'll continue from there from our next class. Thank you so much. Let me take our questions. Um, is there any comment before I take the questions? Or we have a question we want to say by our mouth? Let's do that now.
Sorry, I need to ask, is the class being recorded?
If I say no, that's gone, but it's yes.
Yeah, I thought I had at the beginning, so I just want to like just be reassured.
Yeah,
All
we
right,
have
thank
we have
you. I guess we're
okay.
having next class Saturday, right?
depend on the spirit, you know. Okay, let me just. Somebody said yes. Somebody just said that means it's yes. Then okay,
Okay.
okay, okay. Any other question? Okay, I can take the question in the chat right now. Somebody's asking me private question. I'll come to that question when I open my WhatsApp chat. Um, let's work on the same repo. Sure, sure. Everything we'll be doing will be on the same repo. Somebody is saying remove. Okay, remove. remove. Let's work on the same repo. I hope someone is recording the class. Yes. Is the main at the end of the push command for the remote main or the local main? It's for the remote main. Okay, it's for the remote main. Our the branch we are on the local branch should be the same as the branch we will be on the remote. Do we get that? That was why when we did not add that remote to it, or we did not add the name to it, when we were trying to use Rashid the other time, that was why we are getting error. But now when we add Rashid, which is the same as one we have remotely, everything works well. Okay. But then if you do not create Rashid manually on remote and we try to use Dashu origin, it will automatically create it for us and push it there for us. I think that answered the question to the best of my knowledge. The next question is, what is the difference between this checkout command and the branch dash m command? Okay, basically the best practices is when you want to switch from one branch to the other. Let me see if I can demonstrate that for us. Share a window, share this particular window. Now we have two branches, you know. We can say git branch. Let me run git branch. You can see we have two branches. We have main branch and we have Rashid branch. And the branch that I'm on will be start and will be colored with this. Okay. So Rashid branch is where we are on right now. So for me to change from Rashid branch to the main branch, I will have to do git branch. That's the best practice. Dash and then where I'm going to main. And voila, change the change from Rashid branch to the main branch. So everything I'm doing here now will be on the main branch. I push, I do, and undo. It will be on the main branch. Okay, but then the Rashid branch will still be intact. Even if we make mistake and we have to go back to uh old thing that we've done right, we can go to Rashid branch and do a lot of refactoring. But Git checkout is used for creating a fresh branch. You want to create a branch, you want to give it a name, you use Git checkout to do that rather. Okay, I think that should make sense a bit for us. I mean, I think I answered that question. Is the Windows CMD a Linux environment? No, 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 no. CMD, PowerShell, they are not Linux environments. But then, if you install Git, you'll be able to run Git commands. Git command on CMD and PowerShell. Okay, but you'll not be able to run the other other Linux commands. You'll not be able to run other Linux command, but you'll be able to run all the Git command in your Linux, in your CMD and your PowerShell. Okay, but if you want to go crazy, you can check out WSL. So it's used for it's like an integration of Linux in Windows. So integration of Linux in Windows is Windows subsystem Linux or something like that. Okay, that's that. And I think I've answered all the questions. I will have said we should go ahead and give our comments if you have any comments now. Okay, go ahead and ask your question, but you should know that time has gone. Unmute yourself and ask your question.
And let me just use speaker. And this Unix, Ubuntu, Linux, Unix, all those things, I don't understand them. Which one is Linux? Which one is Ubuntu? Which one is? I just see all of them.
Okay, simple answer to that is okay. Okay. So simple answer to my best of my knowledge. Okay, Linux is a kind of kernel. Okay. Now, a tree, like a tree, we have children under that particular Linux kernel. People come up to create their own operating system from that kernel. Whereas it's from there we have Ambutu, we have CentOS, we have Fedora, and hundred of them, like hundred of them. You go ahead and check. Go just search Linux distros or Linux distributions. You see thousands of them. If you have a basic knowledge of Python, knowledge of C++, you can go ahead and clone the repo and create your own what's it called, your own Linux operating system and push it out there for people to use. Once it's up to standard, then we add it to the list and we'll be calling it anything you name it. Do you get it? But then all these Linux, they are under Unix operating system. Okay, Unix is the like the grandfather of them, like the mother, like the how like what's the best word to use? But the basic thing is the one at the top. Under comes under it. Okay, so all those interacting with CLI, command line interfaces, and all of that, and every other thing you can do, like Imagine fall under Unix operating system. And Linux is being built on that particular Unix. That's why we have the Unix operating system. And some people will just say, okay, Linux is an operating system. Okay, no problem. You can accept it from you. We have thousands of them. Just be good with one. And the most common one is Mac OS, Windows, and Linux. So every other thing that fall under Linux, maybe be it Fedora, be it CentOS, be it Ubuntu, and every other one, they are under Linux. So we just say the thing that you'll be hearing most, the thing you'll be seeing most are these three: Mac OS, Windows, and Linux. I think that answered the question. Any other question before I stop recording? Or if you have any comments or any advice or anything, that you can go ahead and do that right now. And we should be leaving here in 2 minutes time. Oh, any comments? Who is that? Okay, somebody is okay. Somebody said, I think you can see that she can see that maybe she wants to talk now, or maybe she will just give us some ginger, some spirit to do more or any other thing. Or you can tell us maybe you learn anything, maybe you've been here, you did not learn anything. That's an avenue for you to talk down. Okay, nobody's talking. I think we can end the class by now. 30 seconds. All right, if anybody is not talking, I really appreciate every one of us for coming. Appreciate our time and diligence and everything that we put together. We use our data, we use our time and everything. I really appreciate us for coming. Everything others we follow on our communication channel. If you have any question, don't forget to do your assignments, create a branch, add add anything there. You can add your feedback, anything you are looking forward to learn more from this class, and any other thing you want to put to that. You can add it in the file and push it, make a PR, you match it and see what can go well and what went wrong. All right, thank you so much for coming. Um, ending the call right away.